So this parking lot has 46 parking spaces that are striped so far, but there's a lot more space that has not been striped. Lots of bays that can be used for a variety of things. Right now they've got tractors in them. On the other side it's the same thing. And then on the other side of this building here, there's space for about 60 parking spaces. It hasn't been painted yet, but clearly it looks like it's going to be a parking area. So by my count, we have about 100 parking spaces in a facility where the city said there would be about 15 or 20 cars per day for the Volt Center. Now, again, as New Bern Post reported, the city has other plans for this property besides the Volt Center. They want to open a farmer's market and put the existing farmer's market out of business so that they can sell that property as surplus. That property, which is located on South Front Street at Hancock Street, is worth quite a bit of money, more than the tax value. But by law, the city has to take bids on it. It'll be interesting to see how that process plays out. Another thing that I'm looking at, this whole parking lot is sloped to the north. So all the runoff from this parking lot runs off onto, well, first through this garbage area, down into this ditch. I don't know if this ditch is rated to handle the volume of runoff that you would get from this facility. It hasn't really been an issue for decades. However, it wasn't paved for decades either, at least this part. So instead of the water percolating into the ground, it's going to sheet off of it and then come down into this drainage ditch off of Park Avenue. So that it'll be interesting to see what that looks like during a bad storm or a hurricane. Honestly, I don't think that they really thought this through. Or maybe they did, which is even more disappointing. So, by my estimate, this area looks like it's going to be a parking lot. And I'm guessing there's about 60 parking spaces in this space. And there's some kind of stalls here. And you see that there's going to be a cut through to Rem Street through that direction. There is no exit on this side. So these are some sort of garage things. That's the Volt Center. It's where Craven Community College is going to be teaching classes. They're going to be teaching an awful lot of classes that require farmers market-like stalls. And I don't really know what they intend to do with these things. I just stumbled across that kind of mucky, mossy, chemical contaminated effluent coming from underneath the Volt Center building that the city is pumping out, dumping onto its parking lot, and then letting drain down into a storm drain. As you can see here, you may see it pouring out there. Yeah, my hunch is that their basement is flooding. We live near here and our basement floods. It doesn't kill moss. There's some sort of organic material in it that allows this moss to flourish. And it goes down here into the storm drain and out to Lawson Creek, I'm guessing, and then out to the Trent River, then out to the Neuse River. And it is coming from there. Okay, in short, this is below ground level, so my guess is it's flooding. And that they use a pump to pump it out, and then it goes up this pipe, over, down, and then just dumps into their parking lot and into the storm drain. This is not supposed to be here, and really it's not a good idea to have the entrance to a parking lot right next to an intersection. Now, I know that there's really not much they can do about it, and it seems to me that the Department of Transportation didn't want them to do this at all, because it was too close to that blind curve down there, and beyond that, the freeway on-ramps and off-ramps. That was part of the deal when they reduced First Street from 4 lanes to 2 with a center turn lane, bike lanes, and sidewalks. So this entrance would not be here, but it's here. And here's this parking lot here with houses along there. The Ghent neighborhood backs up right to it, and there's nothing that would screen the neighborhood from sounds or noise that would come from a high-use public attraction like a farmer's market. Now check that out. This is not a occasional thing. This thing has been spurting forth. This is the entrance to the Volt Center off of Rem Street. Behind me, straight down on the other end, is another entrance off of, I guess that's Country Club, near First. It's right at the intersection there. 100 parking spaces are going to be here. Maybe most of the cars are going to be coming in off of First Street Country Club. But then they've got this. So people who are getting off the freeway or coming from Trent Woods or a place like that would make the first left onto Country Club, which is this zoning monstrosity, combination of industrial, business. It's zone C3, I believe. I'll have to check that, check my notes. This facility is the old city garage and fueling station. Most of those operations have been moved to other facilities. And in doing that, that's what City Manager Mark Stevens says that they are doing to resolve traffic issues on 2nd Street. At the same time that they closed this, they started developing this property. And this looks like it's going to be another entrance to the back parking lot on to the back parking lot at the quote Volt Center end quote. So this will have 2 entrances off of Rem Street, with access to Rem Street from Country Club on one side and 2nd Street on the other. 2nd Street, it's a Saturday morning, so there isn't a lot of traffic on this street right now. This is Park Avenue. Park Avenue has been an issue for a while, but ever since the Twin Rivers YMCA and Temple Baptist Church came in, so you've got hundreds and hundreds of people who are coming into those facilities every day. But what we are experiencing during weekdays on this stretch of street and the stretch of street right behind me is that cars will go from Trent Boulevard down there and drive down there to get on the freeway, and cars getting off the freeway there will use the new, freshly painted, freshly engineered, dedicated left turn lane onto Rem Street. As you saw that truck back there, didn't even have to slow down to make that turn. whenever the light turns green, allowing cars to leave the off-ramp, we start having a platoon of cars that had gotten off the freeway that come onto this street. So it's not really a constant flow of traffic. It's just a series of pulses of traffic. Now another problem is that this intersection right here is the only four-way stop. In other words, there's a stop sign no matter what direction you're coming from. And for cars that are going straight through, this is where Rem Street ends, and then this is where 2nd Street begins. There are 3 more stop signs. One at Spencer, one at Rem Avenue, and then one in Trent Boulevard. And those are two-way stops. Now, if you're a motorist, you come through here and this is a four-way stop. And of course, there's a little sign underneath it that most people don't pay attention to it. That little sign says all way. Most places I've seen would say four-way, but all way allows them to use it under all circumstances and not have to have special ones dedicated just for four-way stops or three-way stops or whatever. These stop signs just say stop. They don't say two-way. They don't say look for oncoming traffic. They don't say anything like that. They just say stop sign. So you're a motorist driving down this direction, and you get to this stop sign and you just got through a four-way stop. A lot of drivers we are noticing are thinking that this is a four-way stop also, but you see it isn't. It's just the cars that are coming down 2nd Street are required to stop. So they roll through the stop sign and pull out in front of oncoming traffic. Now, Spencer Avenue is going to be another problem real soon. As you see, it's a straight shot for a long distance. And until the city installed stop signs every other block, this was kind of a speedway. So they installed stop signs every other block, but the problem is that there's still a good amount of distance between stop signs. So you still have a lot of distance to build up ahead of steam. Right now there's kind of speed bumps built into the street because they've been doing a lot of work, but pretty soon the city's going to come through and grind it down and repave it and put nice smooth blacktop from beginning to end. So it's going to be a nice smooth drive, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities for cars to add speed before they get to their next stop sign. My hunch is that once that happens, then Spencer Avenue is going to have some problems as well. But right now the problems that we're experiencing are on Park Avenue, which was resolved somewhat when they put in stop signs, and now the issue is 2nd Street. So the next issue that we run into along this stretch of street are cars coming to the intersection of Trent Road. As I said previously, these are two-way stops, and most of the cars that are coming to this intersection will be making left turns. And the issue we have here is that it's a blind curve. And cars come on pretty fast here. The speed limit's 35, but I've seen cars doing 45 or 50 pretty commonly. Again, I'm doing this on a Saturday morning where traffic is not too bad. It's a lot different on a weekday morning.